extend to you a warm welcome to the rehearsal dinner. That's what this is, a rehearsal dinner. Now, I realize that typically rehearsal dinners are in a smaller, group setting, but you know what? This group is so tight and everyone knows each other and we're all so friendly that we decided to combine it into one rehearsal dinner. So this is the first event of the weekend, and so the program for tonight, I'm just going to say a few words now. And we have the past hors d'oeuvres, we've got the drinks will be flowing all night, we're going to have dinner will come out, and everyone's going to play and have fun, and then later on in the evening we're going to hear from some of the people in the wedding party. So that's the game plan. Any questions? Okay, well, this is a remarkable setting, and it's so symbolic. It's walking in and seeing that beautiful piece of art, this beautiful setting. It's just so comforting. It's very much what Nicole and Grant wanted. And life's a journey, and you have lots of choices. And this is a moment when there actually is a fork in the road. And they had. I'm just so glad that they chose the path together to get married. And this weekend it's a little warm, and but tonight it seems really nice. But the motto, and again, one of the things that's so nice about being here at the Culinary Institute is that their motto is very consistent with our theme this weekend. If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. Okay, so I was told that those jokes might go off and they might not. So what I'm going to deal is I'm going to say that's enough of the humor, and I'm just going to put a fork in it for now. Okay. Okay, so thank you everybody for coming. That's what I'm supposed to do here. I should have never done that. Anyway, everyone's come from all over, and it's really great to see everybody. A lot of people here from the South Bay. We got the South Bay represented. We've got Orange County. We got down in San Diego. We have as far north as Oregon. And the East Coast is very well represented. We've got DC, we got New York, and of course, Kevin's hometown, Boston. And they're all still a little hungover from their Celtics win. I know it was very exciting for Kevin. And we have someone from the Far East. That's China. Kevin's brother, Gary, made the trip. Let's hear it for him. He wins the award. And of course, being the 4th of July, we always need to have a healthy feel of patriotism. We all love America, we love the United States, and so we thought it was appropriate to have a member of the U.S. Olympic team. So we had Mitch Stahl come down from Montana. And I also want to make a special acknowledgement to Arthur and Ellie, Kevin's parents. They're here somewhere. There they are. It's just so wonderful to have you here. I know how much you mean to Nicole and Grant and me and Leslie. And I just feel that it'd be a dream of mine to be able to go to my granddaughter's wedding. And I know you've done it once, and now you get to do it again. And so we're just thrilled. And I know that my parents are here and Leslie's parents are here in spirit, along with my brother-in-law, Rocky. So everyone who's here, thank you for coming. Thank you. Now I want to talk a little bit about these people, Grant and Nicole. Let me start with Grant. We all know, I can still remember the day when the doctor handed me Grant, and I just was just so thrilled, and I held him up, and I just said, Grant, you're going to be this wonderful boy, and he turned out to be this wonderful boy. He has brought our family so much joy. It's just obviously we all know how our children affect us. But I'm just gonna tell a few stories, and I'll start with when Grant, as he started getting older, he's 5 years old, and he decided to play his first sports, and I was out front teaching him how to, dribble and shoot and Chalmers pass once in a while because we have to. It was game day, and Grant's a little 5-year-old, the cutest little 5-year-old boy you ever saw, left-handed, and he comes up and I said, Grant, are you excited to play today? And he goes, I'm not going to play. I go, what are you talking about, Grant? He goes, I don't want to play today, Dad. I don't want to play. I don't want to play no game. And I go, Leslie, what are we going to do? So basically, Leslie takes him aside. It's like 12 o'clock. Game starts at 1. And Leslie comes out and says, Scott, I talked to him. He's going to play. I go, that's great news. Let's go. She goes, well, not so fast. He's going to play, but you can't watch.
Is that true?
I mean, really? So I watched my son's first competitive sporting event when he was 5 years old in a car across the street. And you know what? He crushed it. And then afterwards, I said to him, Grant, did you have fun? And he goes, Dad, I had so much fun. Next time you can watch. So I've been watching him ever since. And then later on, he got a little bit older, and he said, you know what, you can coach if you want, Dad. I go, I can coach? I mean, I jumped on that. So MBYB, I coached him at MBYB, and we have some of the players here today. They were on that MBYB team. And it was such a fun thing coaching Grant. Obviously, he made me look good. All those guys made me look good. We'd be in the middle of a playoff game, and we'd be down by 1. The parents are screaming, and I'd call a timeout. There's 10 seconds left, and I would draw up this elaborate play. And I'd say, okay, if they're going to run a man, so we're for sure going to do this, boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden, break, and they'd come out, and then the team would be in a zone. And so these guys, it didn't matter what I said. Jimmy would inbound the ball to Ian. Ian would take it over to Josh. Josh would dribble around, and then boom, dish it over to Grant. Grant would swish the shot with 1 second left, and the whole crowd would roar. And the parents would come up to me afterwards and say, that was brilliant. And I would say, yeah, they pretty much exactly what I told them to do. Then they moved on to high school, and actually Grant asked me to put together a high school basketball team one time, and so we get there, and they're all older, they're about, they're seniors, and I get to the first juniors, and I get to the game, and okay, seniors. So I get to the game, and I get everyone in a huddle, and I go, okay, you guys, why don't you do, let's do some layup lines, and then Grant takes me aside and says, Dad, and I go, what? And he goes, we got this. And I go, what do you mean we got this? He goes, you don't need to coach us anymore. And that was that. I mean, you think about, we read about coaches getting fired. And I thought I had a no-cut contract. But, obviously I was cut. And then I go up to the stands and watch. And you know what happens? They go on and win the championship. And they didn't have me as a coach. But you know who they had as a coach? The guy who walked in wearing a suit and tie. Akash. They got rid of the cheap coach, and they went with the high-powered guy. The Lakers should probably do that. Anyway, so then Grant went on and played high school volleyball. We all know that. And part of that team is here today, too. And we had so much fun watching high school volleyball. I mean, Grant would, do a little back set, and Casey would just crush it. And then Riley, he'd push it out to Riley, and Riley would just dominate. And then if he really wanted to scare people, he would set to Scott stepping on. And he would just bounce it to the top of the jam. And the other team would start shivering. But you know what? It wasn't the game. One time we went, Leslie and I went to Costa versus Loyola. The gym is packed. And, the student section's roaring, everyone, Loyola, we're going to beat them. And, so Leslie and I get in there, we walk in slowly, we sit down, and we're sitting there in these cramped seats, and then all of a sudden the game's playing, it's super exciting. And Leslie hits me on the shoulder and goes, Scott. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm watching the game. She goes, no, look over there. And the whole student section is up, and they're screaming and yelling. She goes, and I go, what? And I look, and I go, oh my God. There's this beautiful blonde wearing a number 16 jersey. You know what? Sports didn't mean as much anymore. And you know what? We watched the game, but we really were watching the crowd. Because oh God, Nicole, we love you so much. So then off to UCLA, and Grant he went to class, of course, but he also played volleyball there, and we have some of those team members here as well. We've got, watching these kids in Poly Pavilion was just a dream of mine. I used to watch my sister Cammie play in Poly all the time. And so, you would see, the best player from Hawaii, the Kailua kid, Michael Fisher. You got to see the pride of Chambersburg, Mitchell. And then, of course, you got the prince from Palisades, Ollie. And, those guys, it was just a dream watching them, and I loved every minute of it. And, of course, I also want to mention Grant's academic and professional accomplishments. He was president of the Bruin Real Estate Club. I was very proud of him for doing and he's got a successful career as a commercial real estate broker right now with CBRE. So I'm really, really proud of your academic and professional accomplishments. And I also want to touch on your character. Grant, your childlike enthusiasm for life is something that absolutely is infectious and incredible. You connect with people, and you care, and you're one of the most amazing people at making friends. And I thought I was good. You're next level. You're 2.0. And something I really admire about you. And you live in your truth and being yourself. It's something that I think I learned when I was 50, and I'm so glad you learned it now, because I truly am proud of that. So congratulations on all your accomplishments, and of course your greatest victory, which was winning Nicole's heart. Now I'm going to shift real quick to Nicole, and it's not going to be that long. But and Nicole, and it's okay. So there are so many things we love about Nicole, and so I jotted down just a few here. We won't be that long. It won't be as long as it looks. Oh shoot! Oh sorry. And you know what? I'm not sure if that was going to go over either. Anyway, I'm going to forget it. It all starts with her parents. Love you guys. I mean, really? I mean, are we kind of a good family here? You guys did a remarkable job raising 3 incredible children. And I know you know that, and I'm reiterating right now. Can we hear it for them? But it's about Nicole, and this is one that's amazing. And Nicole, of course, went off to Wash U, which is a super hard school to get into. Then she decided to go to UCLA and get a PhD, which we were all thinking about doing that. A PhD in neuroscience and psychology, and she's an expert in autism. She's not only brilliant, but she's kind, considerate, and patient. And patience is a critical thing if you're dating a Chalmers. But one of her greatest characteristics is she's always so positive. She's just calm, cool, collective. And Nicole, you're always smiling. There she goes. I love it. And I realized that she's always smiling. I don't like her mom, but I mean, she's always smiling. But when I watched her come across the finish line, we were lucky enough to go up to a marathon. We took all the kids up to go to run a marathon in Vancouver, and Grant and Nicole decided to do a half marathon. Well, Bridget and Lindsay did the full thing, but it's not about them. Bridget and Lindsay waited. But what happened was Nicole. I mean, coming across that finish line, and 13 miles is no picnic, but coming across the finish line, people were dying. I mean, they were just. And then there's Nicole. Just like that. And people were like, oh my God, who's that? We thought she was a plant for like the brochure shot for next year. I mean, I swear to God, unbelievable. But now I'll just mention quickly about them as a couple. They're a wonderful couple. And, Grant came to me originally and said, hey, Dad, I'm going to ask Nicole to marry me. We're going to go do it in Castine, Maine. And I said, well, what? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, I don't know how life works. But I know that I love her and I want to spend the rest of my life with her. I was like, oh, okay, I'll go with you. And love works. And when you know that, and when you marry in Nicole to the Chalmers family, of course you already know we love you, but there's a Chalmers guarantee, and it comes with the whole package. And the Chalmers are all here, and there's a whole crew, and the Chirellis. And and of course, the Bartletts are here too. And the whole family. We're all family when we're all touching. Comes with that Chalmers guarantee. And also, just in terms of the family aspect, guys all know I'm a stats guy. I kind of went through that a little bit. But we now have another Bruin in the family. Woo-hoo! Our cumulative GPA has increased dramatically. Just in case anyone's keeping score. And we have another doctor in the house. Super Lens over there is a doctor in PT. In wrapping up, I'm just going to say this. Nobody's perfect. We know that. Grant's not perfect. Nicole's not perfect. But what is fantastic is they're perfect for each other. Perfect for each other. And I've watched this develop. And Leslie and I were talking about, look, we can give them some advice. We need to give them maybe something, that they can, guidance as they move forward. Because Leslie and I have been together for 35 years, and we've had a great run. And as we were talking about it, what advice could we give them? What should we do? And I realized something. We realized something. They got it. They got this. And we came to this realization that we've already won. We're here. We didn't give up. And we've run our race. Now you run yours. Cheers to Grant and Nicole.
All right, your dad nailed it.